know, morning, folks. Indigestion, all kinds of trouble for me today. Feels like it's been 1,000 years since I wrote this book, but it was actually only a day ago, so I don't know how people do it. Leaving a book and then picking it up like months and months later. Or even years later. I'll need you shortly. Rapier. Captain. Alan replied. On the side it would just be him. Him and D handling explosives on the chemical weapons. Both of them are seasoned in matters. Sabotage. Just a step or two behind men who dedicated their whole professionalism to explosives and engineering. Based on the intel provided, I will assume 6 packs would be enough. I'm ready to go when you are, sir. Dee told Arlen. One last check. Check with the explosives. Let's get moving. Arlen replied. The longer delay, the more anxious Arlen would feel. For sure, he would feel. There was always reason to be anxious on this kind of mission. Arlen had been through this stuff plenty of times. It was almost routine. It was pretty routine. Now, it was routine for him before this war even started. Arlen and Dee climbed over some fence, under the barbed wire, where it was cut by a few of their engineer comrades. On the other side, Arlen and Dee fell into some shadows, and they moved low to the ground, but didn't crawl. He kept checking the ground with his hands to see just to test the dampness. You imagine any ground close to water like this would always be damped. Damp it some way. D passed through some little shed that was somebody's office. It was closed up for a night, judging by the pictures on the wall. The occupant was some local fellow, not a Jade. Probably one of some collaborator, or maybe just some guy who had been running the docks since long before the Jade showed up. If he was on their side. working these docks. I didn't think the guy was one of their people, hidden among the thousands of dock workers. And B unlocked the door. Came into the office through the back window and left through the front, passing into some alley, long alley, a narrow alley, forged by big stacks of crates, adorned with the Jade Army insignia on it. Island found himself wondering if food was in there. Thinking of food made think of the countless famines going on through the world, thanks to the Jade and their policies. I wondered how many children starved to death. A minute. How many children starved to death today because of the Jade? Movement ahead, he muttered at the end of the alley. 2 commandos came out to some courtyard type area. Many walls made of big crates. There were a few Jade soldiers on patrol, packing assault rifles. D looked at Ireland. Should we wait for him to move on? Take him out? D asked Ireland bluntly. It was still shocking Ireland that a Jade could talk so bluntly about icing his fellow Jade. Of course, in the last war, Ireland had worked with a lot of people, not afraid to kill their own countrymen. Cellian killing Cellian. Bloodkin killing Bloodkin. Volgan killing Volgan. And so on. Though those Volgans were not... What's the name of the other one? They're giving me a heart attack, computer. You don't need to do the twirling little save thing. Like you have some big complicated thing to work out. All you got to work out is this Word document. 603 pages so far. And people say Lord of the Rings is a long book at 1,000 pages. I tell you, 1,000 pages would be a slim book from my point of view. On these Volgans. Those Volgans were not politically Volgan. Or maybe Velkin killing Volgan would be more appropriate, since those Velkins didn't consider themselves to belong to the Volgan Unionite. They were not equalindus. Most of them were triangulus, actually. Triangulist, yeah. I think that's an actual term, but I use that as the term for fascist. Let's see. Take them out. Alan said. You go. Distract them. Now come out and put them down from behind. Right, he replied. The two Arlen shrank back into the shadows while D headed out into the open like it was nothing. The two Jade soldiers, guards, reacted like some fearsome ghost had just jumped out in front of them, eyes wild. They both raised their rifles, but seconds later regretted it, realizing they had cocked their weapons at a Jade officer, something that could get them shot, and some of them are. Get them time in the stockades or in some stricter theaters of the war, executed. Sir, both men said. D walked over to them smoothly, expression angry, slightly unhappy but not angry. Jumpy fellows, training weapons on a Jade officer, D said. Sir, stepped out of the shadows. It startled us. One of the men protested. They gave him a slap across the face. Soon, they both had their backs to Ireland, who slowly emerged from the shadows like some slasher stalking the streets. Good thing you had good trigger discipline, D said. Discipline. I always misspell that word. I might have ended up with a bullet between my eyes. Sorry, sir, I replied. Hopefully you'll be more careful next time, he muttered. It is important to remain vigilant, but he trailed off as two suppressed pistol shots went off. One in the back of each skull. The two guards tumbled to the floor, not making that much noise. He quickly grabbed one of the fallen men and dragged him to the shadows. No, that's not right. The shadows. Ireland was close behind him. He seemed a lot easier. Dragged a dead man. A lot easier than Lee. His name's D, not Lee. Okay. D often wondered if Ireland secretly a lot stronger than he thought. He lit on. Maybe he had superhuman strength. If he did, he wondered why he kept it a secret. Most people would say, who saw Ireland, assumed he was quite strong. Wasn't like Harlan. Looked like some weakling. He looked like he was made of muscle. Even when wearing fully clothed. Yeah, he's definitely got a lot of muscle. Good thing you turned up when you did. Good thing you fired when you did. He said. Why? Were you losing them? Harlan asked instantly. No. I was just running out of things to say. He admitted. Well, try to cook up some more words. Harlan suggested. I think we'll have to do that trick at least 3 more times to get to chemical weapons. The chemical weapons sat in a big warehouse type of building toward the middle of the docks. I checked middle, center. Pick point. All ordered. The area ahead was a bit less. Had a bit less shadow and cover. Harlan, being in full. Right, sir. D replied. I then gotta move on. Elsewhere, at the same time. The chief of elsewhere on the docks. At the same time, administrative building thing A. The chief of security at the docks was one Ezrul Mek. She was a female, was a young, beautiful officer of the Jade Army. And a former pirate. She had quite a lot of success in her pirate days, raiding fishing villages and causing terror. Like many, she took advantage of the Jade War of the Warlords. Which caused a breakdown in law and order on the Jade continent. As civil wars tended to do. As well, Mac came from, what was her rank again? Let me check. Major. Yes, that's delightful. And from a long line of pirates. All of whom were quite a bit crueler than her. She wondered if the bloodline that flowed within her mellowed out with time. It seemed like each generation of the mech family became more civilized. As well, sometimes wondered if it was because she was a woman and that made her softer than a man, less cruel by nature. She had still done her share of terrible things, and her men were obedient to her. Their obedience would probably be, many would think that Jade warriors, cutthroats like them, wouldn't follow a woman, but follow a woman. The pirates under Asvel were loyal to her, to both her and her family name. Many of them had served under her father, nicknamed, known as Blood. Few knew his real name. The name, besides his last of Mech, naturally. They call her Merc by accident. M-R-K? No, probably not. Or Merc, like mercenary? I'm gonna change the wording so that that's the same for both languages. Yeah, we've come into, what do you call it? Character introduction. I guess I'll continue for another minute. Many knew Asvel since she was a child, since she was a baby. Some even witnessing her birth, which took place at sea. A few of her loots had held the infant her, in their arms. Infant, is that the right word? Yeah, infant, I'll check. For some reason, saying the word infant gave me a bit of a stomachache just now. I gotta go. See you later, folks. Have a nice day.